Hello. Hi. I'm I'm here. I'm a little frustrated because I was just having difficulties with my headphones. They seem to be working now, and I don't know why. One of those things. I restarted my computer and they still weren't working, and then I tried a bunch of other things and then restarted it again, and then for some reason on the second restart they were working. Ah! Like why didn't they work the first time? Whatever. The point is they are fine now. Yay. Okay. Let's, I guess, just get into the story and do that, because that'll probably cheer me up. Or at least just, like, get my mind off of being frustrated. Custom movie. Today is just another ordinary day. Today is just another ordinary day. Morning sunlight streams into Bianca's bedroom. Feels like I had a really long dream. She furrows her brow, grappling with the remnants of the dream. Too intricate, too visceral. Death, fear, the icy grip of seawater, and nothingness. Like an eraser dragged across parchment, it bleeds the nightmare dry, leaching color from those memories. Fragments thin, turn translucent, and then dissolve entirely, replaced by... Bianca, did you sleep well last night? I dreamt about the school field trip last night. Shaking off the subtle feeling that something's not quite right, Bianca gushes about her pleasant dream to her family. Well, this can't be real. Bianca never had parents. In the dream, I went to the seaside with my teachers and classmates from Babylonia's school, and we visited that cool place by the water called the Copperfield Aquarium. And I don't think Babylonia was in the sky when... I don't think Babylonia was even in space when Bianca was a kid. We saw a huge bionic whale and all kinds of different marine creatures. Does our little Bianca have her heart set on visiting the aquarium? How about we all go together sometime? Yes, let's go together sometime. The minute hand on the clock creeps towards 7. It's almost 7:35, but the school bus comes by at 7:30. Oh, I'm going to be late. Bye, Mom and Dad. Don't forget your breakfast. Bianca rushes to the door and grabs the breakfast her mom hands her. The clock strikes 7:30. Morning, Bianca. Just in the nick of time, as usual. Morning, sir. In the nick of time still? The blurry 7:35 in her memory fades away as Bianca cheerfully greets the driver and steps onto the school bus. Okay, so I thought I was just... I thought I just, like, misunderstood what it was saying about the time, but no, it was like, it's almost 7:35, and then it was like, the clock strikes 7:30, and that was supposed to be weird. Okay. Morning, Bianca. The blue-haired girl is already sitting in their usual spot, smiling as she greets Bianca. Morning, Chico. Did you get your homework done last night? Homework last night? The words hang in the air as blank test papers start to materialize in her mind, a pen scratching to fill the empty spaces. Oh, of course I did. That lust problem was a real pain, though. It took me ages to finish it. Have you finished it? Did you use the method teacher showed us yesterday? Sunlight streams through the car window, lighting up the two children deep in conversation, sitting side by side. At midday, harsh light seeps through the gaps between buildings. Clutching a Tantalum 193 affinity report, Bianca stands at the entrance to the Babylonia Science Council. You really thought this through? Are you absolutely sure you want to be modified into a construct? Yes, I'm set on it. The modification carries a risk of failure, and if successful, you will lose your human identity and cannot be transformed back into a human. I've made up my mind. Babylonia needs to fight the corrupted and reclaim Earth. I passed the affinity test. As a construct, I can save more people. The staff member silently gives the document a stamp, and Bianca walks into the Science Council. Affinity report in hand. When she steps out of the building, she has already become a construct. Well, that was fast. Under the midday sun, Chico stands in the shadow of the Science Council entrance. I've been waiting for you, Brett. Why'd you go and apply for the construct modification by yourself? Chico gives Bianca a stern look. Aren't you already a construct, though? Chico is speechless for a moment. After a brief silence, she finally speaks again. I thought you could have picked a different path. Your grades were stellar. You could have gone to the Science Council, or Star of Life. This is my own choice, too. I want to do more for Babylonia, for this world. If that's what you want. Have you picked your preference yet? Which force do you want to join? I haven't decided yet. The elite squads are on the front lines, taking Earth back. But I've heard the engineering and purifying forces have a lot of openings too. Don't join the purifying force. The purifying force? You don't like it there? It's not that I dislike it. I just don't think it's a good fit for you. An elite squad would be much better. What about you, Chico? Do you want to join an elite squad? I've just looked into it a little. Didn't you say you wanted to do more? An elite squad would be perfect for that. Though I suppose they won't make decisions based only on our preferences anyway. Anyway, I don't mind where I'm assigned. I just want to do more. I just want to do my part for Babylonia. They vanish into the shadow-covered building. The darkness of night slowly envelops the world. Bianca walks out of the Purifying Force Captain's office. What's crossed out? Bianca walks out of the Engineering Force Captain's office. Bianca walks out of the Engineering Force Captain's office. She gazes at the sign for Engineering Force, a feeling of dissonance washing over her like the evening mist. Bianca walks out of the Engineering Force Captain's office. Crossed out. Bianca walks out of the Purifying Force Captain's office. In the blink of an eye, the sign that reads Engineering Force flips to Purifying Force. Am I just tired? Why does it feel like something's off with my visual module? She presses her forehead, fiddles with her visual module, then pops open an umbrella. Having just wrapped up a mission, Chico asks her to catch a movie after she finishes her report. Bianca, over here. In the movie theater, Chico has already found their seats. Today's movie is The Way Home? An unfamiliar movie title. Yeah, it's about to start. Image noise dances across the screen. There are two main characters, and the plot is straightforward. He's dead. I'm not dead. He's already dead. Delapour clutches the corpse named Norris. This is the snowfields. I'm still alive. Oh, do we get out of the snowfields? Bianca, do you remember when we first met? When we first met? Inside the meeting room, harsh white fluorescent lights flicker overhead. Is the light on the fritz? I'll have logistics come take a peek later. It's really no big deal, just a tiny glitch. Nothing to get worked up about. Let's kick things off with introductions, starting with you. Me? Yeah, hi. I got my headphones working. I don't know how exactly. Because the problem appeared to be with my PC. I restarted it, and it didn't start working, and then tried a bunch of other things, and then just restarted it again, and then it worked. I don't know what changed. Anyway. What? Because I'm a master technician? Oh my god. When did I go to technician school? I must have forgotten about that. The construct marked as Purifying Force Captain impatiently taps the table twice with a finger in response. It can be self-taught. Yeah, I guess it can, with enough troubleshooting experience. My name is Bianca. From the snowfields. Crossed out. Babylonia. Alright, next. The name's Chico. Chico Kirishima, from Babylonia. I'm Delapour. My gig is network operations. Norris here. I was an assault specialist with the task force. As each person in the faceless crowd introduces themselves, a subtle sense of unease keeps nagging at Bianca's mind. Did Chico join the Purifying Force at the same time as her? Alright. Now that everyone's introduced themselves, we can call it a day. Have you all got the rules of the Purifying Force down? Yes. The captain isn't fazed by the scattered response, just tapping the table to get everyone's attention. Remember the most crucial rule. Stay away from tropical fish, because there are no tropical fish in the aquarium. The voice reverberates, echoing almost instantly in her mind. Who is it? A deafening roar erupts as the transport aircraft thunders to the ground. So I think this is definitely some kind of weird, not hallucination necessarily, I guess, but Bianca's going through something in her mind that's not real, but I'm wondering when during the chapter this happens. The world is swallowed whole by the howling snowstorm. What are you doing here? And just to save lives. Well, that doesn't quite make sense. There's no way our squad would survive. going out of your way to come here will only put yourself in danger. I mean, you're not wrong. These characters are always going through something. But you're still alive. Where are the others? I took them out. They'd all become corrupted. But at least you're still here. There are too many corrupted crawling around. What you're doing isn't smart at all. Bianca doesn't respond, her focus entirely on treating Chico's wounds with gel and bandages. You know the captain already fell? I do. So then, do you know we're both being considered for the next Purifying Force captain? I do. So you saved me just to put me deeply in your debt. Then, save your strength. We still need to get out of here. Bianca makes a makeshift sled and drags Chico along, inching her way out. I just can't figure you out. Chico lies on her back on the sled, her eyes stinging from the bright blue sky and the snow piled high on the treetops. Your own mind is on the brink too, isn't it? Yeah, but at least I'm not physically injured. Why would you stick your neck out like that to save me? I won't give up on anyone who still has a fighting chance. Is that it? That's it. You've gone this far, not wanting power or privilege. So what do you want exactly? Right now, honestly, I just want us both to make it out of here alive. As if on cue, the clouds part and the sun breaks through. The thin mist beyond the forest silently dissipates as the logistics team the logistic team's rescue vehicles come roaring in. By the way, is there an aquarium on Babylonia? I've been meaning to ask. Why is stay away from the tropical fish the Purifying Force's last rule? Her visual modules burst into a kaleidoscope of brilliant colors. The transport aircraft roars, climbing into the clouds. False loop. She can only drift like a withered leaf, swept along by the world's grand narrative into the fierce current rushing ahead. So I guess this, branch is just some kind of weird dream-like unreality that Bianca's going through in her mind at some point. At some point during the chapter, not totally sure when. Maybe when she's, unconscious while they're fleeing. Or maybe when she's trying to, sync up with her new frame. Not sure. Inside the movie theater. Hey! Stop dragging me by the leg! I'm gonna break my leg! Corpses aren't supposed to talk. My leg! It's broken! But it's okay. Delapore hastily puts Norris's leg back in place. Good news. We're about to leave the snowfields. But how exactly did you die? Are you sure you want to grill a corpse like this? I don't remember a thing now. All I recall is meeting you in the snowfields. The junction where the snowfield meets the forest lies just ahead. The actors flail about with exaggerated movements, while the theater remains completely silent. Remember that time we met? Which time? The one out in the snowfields. All I wanted back then was to lure you right into that corrupted horde. That way, I'd get to be the captain of the Purifying Force. I don't recall that at all. But it seems someone else on our team had the same idea. He somehow led our team straight into the corrupted's nest before we were ready. As you can see, they all ended up corrupted, so I took them out. Why would you do that? Maybe it was for power, or maybe for personal gain. That's just the story this era shoves down our throats. I tried to fight back once, but... Thank goodness for the welfare support we have now. In my grandmother's generation, a situation like this would have left us no choice but to end it all. At least it won't affect you two. Chico, Yuko. Just focus on your studies. Don't let me hold you back. Let you hold us back? If he hadn't been such a fool for falling for that scam. Stop it! Chico, please, no more. Everyone makes mistakes. If only I had been more careful that night, we might have had a chance to make things right. Your father will take care of me. Don't worry about it. That man? Take care of you? Let's go to Grandma's, even if she's still angry that you married. What's going on? Not much Aquarian at the moment. Honestly, I don't know what's going on. But it seems clear that I think we're in Bianca's mind and something weird is happening. It might be like when she was having bad mind deviation before she switched frames during the earlier part of the story. Your grandmother passed away. Hi, Psycho! Thank you for coming! I hope you're having a good night so far. I'm sorry. I've never heard you mention any of this before. Chico's face remains hidden in darkness, her voice steady. Grandma's death. I thought it would be the end of that farce. It turned out to be just the beginning. You've been secretly recording us. Fine. This might prove you didn't break that vase, but there's no recording of what happened last time. Don't you dare try pinning that on my daughter too. I'll pay you today, and you can leave. We don't want someone as sneaky as you at our home. I've sent your payslip to your terminal. After deducting compensation for damages, you still owe us $300. Don't forget to pay it. There were some complications. He needed a colostomy surgery. He'll probably need to wear the bag for the rest of his life. Well, he's already past 50, so at least he won't have to bear it for too long. Oh, and try not to upset him. The old man has quite a temper. That's actually why the last caregiver left. Hey, I said I didn't want this. What I ordered was... What? I can't return a drink I've already finished? That's ridiculous. Another glass gone missing? I'll have to dock your pay again. Ask the customer to return it. Are you kidding me? Who would ever set foot in our place again if we did that? Oh god. This is probably gonna trigger anybody who's worked in, like, the service industry before. Half her life slips by, swept along by the tides of time. If I could become the captain, keep climbing the ranks, and get to the center of power, maybe I could put an end to this kind of life. That's probably what I thought back then. My life and experiences never really gave me much wiggle room for other choices. Or rather, I never had choice to begin with. She can only drift like a withered leaf, swept along by the world's grand narrative into the fierce current rushing ahead. Then why did you end up giving up on complete... Then why did you give up on I can't talk. Then why did you end up giving up on competing for the captain's position? Why... Chico sighs, her mind as calm as ever. She leans back, every muscle in her body letting go. Yeah, her fuck-ass bob has a ponytail! Because it was pointless. Yeah, this is like one of the like anime hairstyles you see around that I like don't understand how it works. Because it's like there's like a bob around a ponytail. It's weird. Like I don't understand physically how it would hold that shape. This world, it's a bitter, tragic mess, overflowing with death, slaughter, and betrayal. If I were to take someone's position, wouldn't she be furious and wring my neck this moment she found out? By common sense, isn't that how things like this usually go down? Chico straightens up and looks at Bianca. But she trudged through the snowfields to find me, right when I was just sitting here, waiting to kick the bucket. I only did what I believed was right. You only did what you believed was right, but that's something I could never picture myself doing. After that, I suddenly really wanted to see how her ending would play out. Hi, Cole! How are you? I hope you're having a good night. Wait, what? You have a bucket? A bucket emote? Says Yami VT Epic Bucket XD. I have no idea what that emote is like supposed to mean. Actually, come to think of it. Is the chat box working? Okay, it is. I wanted to see if emotes showed up on the chat box, because I don't think I had seen before. Oh, kicking the bucket. I see. Yeah, a naive fool. Some idiot trying to dig up the truth in this messed up world. What kind of ending would she get? Was she going to crash headfirst into reality until she's a bloody mess? Or could she really live by her truth? So if you just got here, Cole, I would like to give more context, but to be honest, I don't have a lot more context. All that I know, kind of, is it seems like... So this was like the branching path from earlier in the story. The other branch. It seems to be like, at some point, Bianca is having like this, like, mental vision, hallucination type thing, where she's like imagining that she grew up in Babylonia with parents and went to school like a normal kid. But then now she's like kind of like linked up with her normal self as the captain of the Purifying Force alongside Chico. And from some of Chico's dialogue, I'm kind of getting the hint that like maybe the Chico she's meeting in this like mind delusion is actually the real Chico who's like somehow connected to her. And Chico knows what's going on. Maybe. You took a really long nap, but now you're here, aka doing very good. That's great! I love a good nap. In the movie, Delaport discovers an abandoned railcar, its tracks disappearing into the unknown. He drags Norris into the old railcar compartment. And if you don't remember, because it was a while ago, Norris and Delapore, I'm pretty sure, were 2 members of Chico's team. So they should be dead now. If I ever do a face reveal, can I rock the ponytail bob for it? Maybe if I find a wig. My hair isn't long enough for that. But to be honest, I don't think I'd ever do a face reveal. I mean, I don't think I'd ever do like a formal face reveal. The one thing is I do think like I am obviously like taking voice acting classes and stuff, and I would do like voice acting under my real name and stuff. Like all the classes that I've taken, I've used my real name and stuff. And so people might, I don't know, find like pictures of my actual face that way and be able to like link it to me. So I guess it's possible people could see my face someday, but I don't plan on ever really doing like a formal face reveal on stream. The railcar thunders past. In the ruins, Bianca and Chico are deep in a heated argument. Come on, Bianca, get real. You've been the captain of the Purifying Force for ages. How can you not see the writing on the wall? Shady dealings, missions swept under the rug, all those lists being passed around through back channels. Get my PNG a ponytail bob. I mean, I guess I could do that. Have you learned nothing from the task force constantly breathing down our necks? The military giving us the cold shoulder, and our own people stabbing us in the back? These are not the same thing, Chico. Confirming whether soldiers have defected, deciding based on their actions whether they should be executed or brought back to Babylonia for court trial. This is just the Purifying Force's duty. We must find out the truth. What's the point of it anyway? Chico knits her brows. Purifying Force is just a tool in Babylonia's grip. Get our marching orders, we carry them out. Plain and simple, that's our job. In any case, we haven't caught up with the target yet, so we still have some time to investigate. With a heavy sigh, Chico just goes quiet. She finds herself hesitating over whether to keep pushing back against Bianca. Even though her decision was already made, to stand aside in cold detachment, watching as Bianca sank deeper into the quagmire, crushed beneath the world's relentless weight. They chased the defector across the snowfields, battling the elements, driving onward day and night without rest. You really seem to know this place inside and out. This snowfield. It used to be my home. I was adopted by a kind father in a church. It was just over there, not far away. What about your family? The father was my only family. What happened after that? He was killed. By me. I'm sorry. Chico silently stirs the campfire. By then, he had already been corrupted by the punishing virus. But he must have found his way to heaven, right? In a world ravaged by the punishing virus, can heaven even exist? Maybe. But it's better to have hope than none at all. The campfire crackles, and they both watch the flames in silence, the snow slowly melting away. Perhaps feeling she should offer something in exchange for Bianca's story, Chico slowly begins to speak. I don't have any family left either. My mom was paralyzed. She ended her life right next to me so she wouldn't be a burden. And my sister, Yuko. The firelight dances in her eyes. Those memories are so hazy for me now. I only remember it was a mission in Constellia. There were these rioters causing a ruckus, I think. That was where I stumbled upon Yuko. We fought through a grueling battle. Then Yuko took the pistol I'd given her, used the last bullet to end her own life. I don't know why, but I've forgotten almost everything about those days. All I recall is Yuko's final smile, as if she was trying to tell me her death had meaning. That's not the real past either. That's what happened in the Hetero Tower, I think. Because I think in the real timeline, Yuko did die, but she became a construct and died on a mission, I'm pretty sure. How could any death have meaning? Chico lets out a deep sigh. It's just rotten wood, fallen in a glorious age, paved into the road toward the future. Bianca doesn't know what to say to break the heavy silence. As she hesitates, her terminal chimes. The investigation results are in. It was... Delapour was corrupted. His mind deviated, and he killed Norris. Let's go. She gets to her feet, brushing the snow off her clothes. This is the duty of the Purifying Force. To raise our weapons against the once comrades is also to protect those still alive. The campfire is quickly buried under heavy snow and goes out. Shall we? Anytime. They press through the blizzard, hot on the defector's trail across the snowfields. I'm always ready to face death. And ready to face that of my comrades. At the border where the snowfield meets the forest, they spot the corrupted construct, the defector, looking totally lost. But... what? I killed Norris. Can't be right. Norris is my best friend. I just ate a cookie. How could I have possibly killed Norris? The heavy snow falls silently. You're Delapour, and you're accused of killing the construct named Norris. Do you have anything to say for yourself? I only ate a cookie. I didn't kill Norris. It's mind deviation, caused by the punishing corruption. What else do you have to say? And... also... what? Stay away from the aquarium. Tropical fish. There are no tropical fish in the aquarium. The transport aircraft lands with a thunderous impact, picking up a blinding cloud of snow. Yeah, he ate a cookie. I don't know. Maybe he thought... maybe when he was like having mind deviation and was corrupted, he thought he was just eating a cookie. But maybe he was actually eating his friend. Your cookies don't make you commit murder? Well, Mine don't either, but it seems like his do. It's also because they're like robots, I'm thinking of like cookies from websites. Like, oh no, he got the bad cookies. He got a virus. Well, I guess he did get a virus. Bianca's story. Neither tragedy nor comedy, but a story that belongs only to you. Only to Bianca. Inside the movie theater. They all say I killed you. Did you? Or did you not? How could I ever kill you? We're best friends! Delapore stands with Norris in front of a glass tank at the aquarium. A gaggle of rabbits has gathered at the aquarium. Bouncing around, they check out the tropical fish cooped up behind the glass. But I am dead. Yes. You're dead. So, I was the one who killed you. Was I supposed to kill you? Or were you supposed to kill me? Beats me. I'm just a corpse. But on the screen, Delapore keeps rambling on as Chico turns to look at Bianca beside her. Have you ever played any of the Nier games? I've played Nier Automata, and I know the gist of what happens in Nier Replicant. Well, Nier Replicant, Nier Gestalt, the first Nier game. I also know a decent amount about the Drakengard series. You get similar vibes to Nier Automata. Yeah, a lot of people do. This game even had a collab with Nier Automata, because what game hasn't? And it's also like even more with the parallels. Lucia, like the kind of the construct that you get first, and like sort of the, I guess, de facto main character aside from the Commandant, is voiced in Japanese by the same voice actor as 2B, Yui Ishikawa. I'm glad they had 9S, because too many people just choose 2B. Yeah, this one had 2B, 9S, and A2. All three of them. Bianca. How can you keep up your cool through all this? How can you keep your cool through all this? Chico? The question is so abrupt that Bianca is at a loss for how to respond. Why, even within the purifying force, can you still hold on to your humanity and hope for this world? After everything, after being hardly given any love, after being branded a witch, how can you still face this world with such kindness? I'm sorry, but I honestly don't know how to answer any of your questions. Bianca lowers her gaze. I suffered too. They called me a witch, drove me out of town, convinced I'd bring them misfortune. That I'd kill their loved ones in the dead of night. I tried to prove them wrong. I joined Daedalus, told myself I was protecting this city, its people, but when I was called a witch, I truly did protect the church in the city. But after joining Daedalus and living in the justified way, I ended up hurting more innocent people than I ever meant to. At first, she too was just going with the flow, stumbling forward in a desperate dash. When she suddenly glanced back, she realized she had made even more mistakes down this path. Yeah, she was a nun. In the past. I bear my share of sins. But still, I want to reach for redemption more than anything, even if the path leads only to ruin. She has made up her mind to pay for her past sins. Even in a flawed world, there will always be those who stand by truth. Even in the abyss, light always finds a way. Yeah. You never really got to choose. No, I did have a choice. It was my choice to enter Babylonia and serve the Purifying Force. Looking back, I think this is the most right choice I've ever made. On the screen, a scale labeled Justice presides over judgment. Delapour is guilty. Delapour killed Norris. Surrounded by watchful tropical fish in the aquarium, Delapour and Norris take their final bow. Do you like this ending, Bianca? The blonde construct wants to say something, but her increasingly unstable cognition leaves her momentarily tongue-tied. Whether you like it or not, this movie is already drawing to a close. If you were to be the writer, what kind of story would you create? Neither tragedy nor comedy, but a story that belongs only to you. Only to Bianca. My story. Yeah. Chico's story is coming to an end, but Bianca's story is still unfolding. Chico's voice drifts in and out, and Bianca strains to catch the words. Yet, her attention keeps getting pulled to the pitter-patter of raindrops. Out of nowhere, it's pouring rain inside the movie theater. How can it be raining? How can it be raining in the movie theater? As the rain falls, Bianca's frame shifts, from Stigmata to Veritas, then finally settling on 0. The white construct just sits there, bewildered in the theater seat as the torrential rain comes down all around her. What if we could choose every turn in our lives? Would we still be who we are today? Morning, Bianca. Morning, Chica. Did you get your homework done last night? Of course I did. The last problem was a real pain, though. It took me ages to finish it. Been waiting for you forever. Why'd you go and apply for the construct modification by yourself? Aren't you already a construct, though? I thought you could have picked a different path. This is my own choice, too. The orbital train of Babylonia silently glides into the station. I once thought, if I could just weave false memories, make them convincing enough, and let you sleep peacefully in the red tide. In a way, that might have been a kinder fate. Growing up in Babylonia, with a loving family and surrounded by friends, you could take your time, eventually joining the Science Council or the Star of Life. But you still chose to become a construct. I tried to steer you away from the Purifying Force, hoped you'd join the Engineering Force or the Task Force instead. Somewhere you might have found the bonds you longed for. But you still chose the Purifying Force. That's just who you are, Bianca. Chico's face stays hidden beneath her umbrella, hazy and hard to make out. Chico, is that really you? It is me. Her voice is soft and gentle. How come you're here? I'm here to help you finish the story that's yours. Chico gives a faint smile. Laugh at me if you want, Bianca. Laugh at you? I figured I'd just watch you sink into the world's muck, but here I am instead. Let me walk you through this final stretch. The umbrella's edge dips as a train rumbles by. It's been raining around the platform recently. Please mind your step. Welcome to the Copperfield Aquarium. The broadcast plays smoothly, delivering the welcome message along with a notice that seems oddly out of place. Rain starts falling out of nowhere within the enclosed space. Everything before her blurs into the downpour. Okay, yeah, this was from earlier in the story, so that's when this was another like mind hallucination Bianca was having. So that's when this is, I guess. I think it was when this was from when she was just like before she switched frames, when she was unconscious and gravely wounded. The fine, misty raindrops fall, tracing a cold, stinging path down Bianca's skin. I'm sorry, Bianca. Suddenly, the rain seems to split open, and a figure materializes at Bianca's side, holding an umbrella over her. Chico? With a visible effort, Bianca slowly lifts her head, the name barely a whisper as she gazes at the figure. No? I mean, you try living through an apocalypse and staying mentally stable. Actually, no. Now that I think about it, Isla. Isla's fine. She's just a happy-go-lucky painter girl. Gift. As if on cue, a sudden gust of wind whips around them, and even the rain seems to hang suspended in the air for a moment. A train glides to a stop at the platform. Bianca turns her bewildered gaze toward it. What is that? She squints, trying to make sense of the scene, but no matter how hard she strains, it remains a blur. The platform lights flicker out unnoticed, plunging the distance into pitch blackness. Wind and rain howl through the station, making even the steel-reinforced train shudder violently. If you could choose, would you rather be a witch or a holy maiden? A witch or a holy maiden? Her jumbled thoughts slowly untangle, though she's still miles from grasping it all. Bianca mumbles the question again, almost without realizing it. Yeah. If you actually got to choose, what kind of person do you want to be, Bianca? Chico hands Bianca the umbrella handle, then turns to leave. Chico! Where are you going? Me? I will be staying right here. Chico turns around, and Bianca finally sees her clearly. She's standing dead center on the platform, where the torrential rain collects at her feet, turning into a blinding, deep crimson. This is my final stop, Bianca. But you've got to go. You need to get out of this place. Whatever you choose, becoming a witch or a holy maiden, it's all good. The train lets out a timely whistle as light overflows from its body and the engine roars to life. No! Wait! Chico! Wait! Bianca seems to have snapped back to reality, yet she's still drowning in chaos. She shouts out, her mouth wide open. She tries to run toward Chico, but the instant she steps into the curtain of rain, she freezes, her body no longer responding to her will. Go, Bianca. Bianca! A blinding light flashes from the horizon, and Bianca's eyes snap shut. Bianca, wake up! The rain suddenly surges onto the platform, swallowing the station whole. The scarlet crystals let out a mournful cry before disappearing behind the curtain of rain. Okay, so that's the end of that thing, and then now we move back on past the end of the chapter from before. Faith. When you're powerless to change things, all you can do is turn to faith. Outside the tent, the rain is coming down in sheets, threatening to rip every plant from the mountainside and wash away all the soil. The followers of the Scarlet Revelation are huddled inside the tent, watching the deluge with growing anxiety. Can the rain be this heavy? Worriedly, Grace kneads the linen pouch filled with rune pebbles and silently asks, when will the rain stop? After a moment's deliberation, she pulls out the first pebble her fingers touch. It's a wooden rune representing the letter H. Ill, delay, restriction, termination. This isn't exactly a stellar divination result. When you're powerless to change your circumstances, all you can do is put your faith in belief. Even though Grace wasn't initially good at divination, she's really gotten the hang of it over time. God, please guide us. Our supplies are running low, and the seeds we just planted have been completely washed away by the rain. God, please guide us and show us the way forward. Grace closes her eyes and murmurs a prayer for a moment before picking up the linen pouch again. After a quick shake, she lays the bag flat on the table and draws out another rune. This time, it's a rune carved right out of a stone. In a world like this, she's simply out of luck when it comes to getting a complete set of matching stone or wooden divination tools. It represents the letter N, restriction, necessity, peril. Grace knits her brows together as she gathers up all the rune pebbles. Lady Revelationist, has God granted us new orders? Noticing Grace tucking away her runes, the followers swarm her, desperate for the reassurance they crave. The rain will let up soon, and they will definitely make it through this. Looking at their drawn, hungry faces, Grace steels herself and trots out her usual speech again. God says we must endure. Our current hardships are a test, and afterward, we will surely overcome these difficulties. 1 pack of ration, 2 packs, 2.5 packs, 2.7 packs. God says, as long as we endure through this time. 4 cans, 4.5, 4.8 cans. Smoker! Oh, Lady Revelationist, do you need something? The middle-aged man hustles back inside the downpour, his makeshift tarp practically drenched. I think this was someone she might have mentioned who was dead. So maybe this happens before the Scarlet Revelationists go to the aquarium. You seriously need to be counting cans right now? And how in the world did you end up with 4.8 cans? Whoa, I didn't sneak any for myself. That half a can was from when little Owen got sick, and I mixed it with rations to make him some porridge. The other 0.3 can? That was 2 days ago, when Zoe was at death's door with a mild punishing virus infection. His voice catches as he blows his nose loudly. She was on her way out, and you told me to make her comfortable, so I gave her 2/3 of a can. Is this really all we have left? Yeah, that's all. We got them last month by waiting in line for relief aid outside a conservation area we passed by. But now, who knows when those conservation areas will hand out supplies again. They probably don't have enough to go around for themselves. Grace sighs again, having lost count of how many times she's done so today. When will the rain stop? Outside the tent, a few devotees huddle close, mumbling passages from the Scarlet Revelation doctrine scrawled on a tattered paper. They skip right over the chapters on catastrophe and curse, instead of murmuring about confession, supplication, and redemption over and over. I have nothing left to rely on, nothing left to ask for, as long as I can find salvation. Oh God, I praise your holy name, prostrate at your feet. God shall create paradise. God shall grant eternal life through the red tide. Thunder crashes overhead. What a goddamn disaster. It could be raining this heavily. The long-haired construct continues her loud cursing, tossing her makeshift rain poncho carelessly onto the ground. Followers inside the tent grumble under their breath, careful not to let the long-haired woman hear them. Lulu, you're back. How's the hall? If you can even call this a hall. She roughly tosses a rain-soaked package onto the ground beside Grace. The package spills open, revealing just 2 rolls of bandages, an unopened can of fruit, a bag of food that looks like it's been stored since the dawn of time, and a measly handful of rice grains. Here's the fruit of your divination. The long-haired woman takes a deep breath, clearly biting back a string of curses. After pulling herself together for a moment, she speaks again. I found my way to the spot you mentioned, right on the edge of the ruins. What a bust, though. Just a tiny refugee camp, already swallowed whole by the red tide. Seriously, I waded through hell and high water battling corrupted and those nasty, clingy hetero creatures just to drag back this pathetic haul. And your divination didn't exactly clue us in on this downpour, did it? My gun nearly jammed because of it. Still grumbling, Lulu plops down beside Grace, deftly pulling out her tools to dismantle the gun that serves as her arm. Thanks for everything, Lulu. At least we'll have something to eat tonight. As long as you appreciate my suffering. The female construct lets out a derisive snort, then goes back to tinkering with her arm. Yeah, clingy hetero creatures. Is that what you call straight people? Soon, a metal pot is bubbling over a crackling campfire. The scent of the old rations isn't exactly gourmet, but it's not awful either. Maybe it's that extra 0.3 can of preserved food. Whatever the reason, everyone seems unusually stoked for dinner tonight. Oh God of the red tide, we thank you for providing us with food. Before digging in, the followers drone their usual prayers. Thanking the red tide for what? You should be thanking me. Thank you for your guidance, for letting us live to see the sun of another day. With this downpour, who knows if we'll even catch a glimpse of the sun tomorrow. Hey, why are you pulling me? The person disrupting the prayer gets yanked aside, letting the rest of the followers get on with their devotions. Wasn't I telling the truth? That's not it. Didn't you want to tell me something in private? When Lulu sat down beside her, hesitating several times as if wanting to speak, Grace already saw through her intention. Well, I'm not sure if this is a good idea or a bad one, but... Lulu pulls a tattered piece of paper from a waterproof pocket at her waist. She hesitates for a moment before finally handing it over to Grace. This thing might have been left behind by some of your Red Tide folks. It's the Scarlet Revelation. Grace corrects Lulu's odd choice of words while taking the paper from her. Is this some kind of invitation? So it's an invitation for the Scarlet Revelation members to check out the Copperfield Aquarium. Apparently, once you pass the test and hit that place by the sea, you'll be reborn in the Red Tide. This just doesn't look on the up and up. Did one of your folks leave this behind? I'm not sure. I haven't been in contact with other Revelationists for a long time, but this marking, it was definitely left by a Revelationist I know. Grace runs her fingers over the paper, a sense of unease washing over her. The refugee camp might be where that Revelationist once stayed, now already swallowed by the Red Tide. Then, has that Revelationist already been granted salvation, or have they moved on to face the test? So, should we head over there? Huh? Wait, are you serious? You're asking me? Well, if you're putting me on the spot, I guess we could give it a look. There's barely anything left here, and no conservation areas close by. We can't even try to scavenge food from those folks in Babylonia. If we stick around, we're gonna starve, plain and simple. I've scoured every nook and cranny nearby, but there's not a single usable replacement part to be found. Once this downpour utterly ruins me, we can just hold hands and step into that salvation you mentioned, together. Lulu lets out a couple dry laughs. What do you think? Aren't you good at divination? Why don't you try reading the signs? Grace nervously fiddles with her linen pouch, torn about doing another divination. Lately, every reading has been a bust. Oh, one more thing. Before she can finish speaking, a sharp pop cuts her off. Dim yellow bulb inside the tent flickers and dies. Grace jerks in surprise, the linen pouch slipping from her grasp. Rune petals clatter across the ground, scattering into the shadows. That's what I was getting at. When I got back, I saw the generator, which was working perfectly fine before, was trashed by the corrupted. I tried to fix it, but no dice. One of the screws is glowing red hot. Looks like this camp's going to be off the grid from now on. Grace crouches low, her thoughts a jumbled mess. They head for the coast and face whatever test comes their way. Hey, don't think you can sneak around in the dark stealing canned food, you brats! Smoker's booming voice cuts through the darkness. The tiny, mouse-like rustling stops dead in its tracks. Stay away from those supply crates! Back off! Back off! Listen up. Those who steal food will never enter the Red Tide and be reborn. No stealing meat cans, and absolutely no stealing fruit cans. Scattered footsteps echo as the children jostle and shove each other, putting distance between themselves and the crates. 1 pack of rations, 2 pack of rations, 2.5 packs of rations, 2.7 packs. No rations consumed today. Praise be to the god of red tide. Shit. 4 cans, 4.5 cans. Had to use another third of a can to feed those insatiable locusts. Only 4 cans left, and the rain washed away all our newly planted crops. Smoker sighs heavily, completely missing Grace and Lulu as they huddle behind the supply crates. He finishes his inventory count and steps out of the tent. Should they go to the seaside? Grace fumbles around in the darkness and accidentally touches the first rune on the ground. R. Carriage, travel, and all your dealings will pan out in your favor. Oh, Grace. You're a terrible diviner. Hey, why do you suddenly look like you've had some huge realization? It's nothing. The divine has already given me the answer. Grace lets out a huge sigh of relief. In the glow of the torch Lulu finally got lit, Grace gathers up all the rune pebbles. Fine, whatever floats your boat. The campfire flares back to life. Grace stands by the flames, facing her anxious followers, the faint light dancing in her eyes. Everyone, God has shown us the path forward. I've just received a new divine revelation. Thank goodness, Lady Revelationist. God has bestowed upon us a new test. In the firelight, the Scarlet Revelation emblem on the worn letter stands out prominently. She tosses the letter into the campfire just as the wind whips through the tent. The flames swallow the paper, and sparkling crimson embers, breaking free, suddenly shoot skyward. We'll set out for the seaside to face this divine test. If we pass this test, we will enter rebirth. Oh God, I praise your holy name, prostrate at your feet. Ugh, yeah, wouldn't that be great? God, give us some Uber Eats, please. Oh, God of the red tide, please. Please give us some chicken nuggets. What is the red tide? It's basically like a liquid form of the punishing virus. It can dissolve people. And when people are dissolved in it, phantoms of them show up in the tide, beckoning others to come join them. You know, creepy shit. God shall create paradise. God shall grant eternal life through the red tide. Prostrate on the ground, the followers murmur their doctrines of the Scarlet Revelation. Then, with a flurry of activity, they start taking stock of their meager supplies, preparing for the journey ahead. And yeah, the Scarlet Revelation is just a cult that worships the red tide. They don't really appear much in the story. Grace stands in the center of the tent, her fingers idly toying with the linen pouch that holds her rune pebbles. She simply doesn't dare perform another divination, fearing yet another unfavorable outcome. She can only pin her hopes on what's to come. R. Carriage, travel, and all your dealings will pan out in your favor. Well, that's not how that's going. Maybe there really is new hope on the horizon. Clinging to this pipe dream, Grace follows the old map, leading her band of Scarlet Revelation followers toward the Copperfield Aquarium. That place where people supposedly find rebirth. things didn't go well there. Trial. That is a reborn world, where there is no endless fleeing, no corrupted or monsters, and certainly no death. By the sea, among ruins. Grace and her followers aren't far from the Copperfield Aquarium. By the time they reach this seaside location, there's hardly a trace of other Scarlet Revelation groups. Lady Revelationist, this must be the place. We've made it here. So does that mean we passed the test? No. This is only the beginning. God taught us to be patient, to wait. Lady Revelationist? Is there truly rebirth in the red tide? Of course. The rebirth within the red tide is beautiful. Anyone who passes the trials earns the right to rebirth. And then, we'll all step into a beautiful new world. Together. What do you mean by a beautiful new world? That is a reborn world, where there's no endless fleeing, no corrupted or monsters, and certainly no death. If we believe in the God of the Red Tide, he will guide us to happiness beyond. She crouches down and gently pats the child's head. Let's set up camp first. I will divine an appropriate time for us to enter this trial ground together. Some followers grumble, but with Grace being the Revelationist, they wouldn't dare voice their complaints. Lulu clears out a dilapidated refugee camp nearby, and that's where they set up their temporary base. We've got 4 cans left, 1 bag of compressed rations, and some of the rice the deity gave us can be used as seeds. As for the rest of the rice, the stuff we can't plant, let's eat that this time around. Otherwise, there's nothing else to eat. Smoker drops the supply crate with a hard thud and storms out of the tent. Well, looks like someone's losing their touch around here. Lulu whistles casually as she strolls past. They are just desperate for salvation. But something about it feels off to me. Grace then starts pulling rune pebbles out of her linen pouch, drawing them repeatedly for divination. But no matter how many times she tries, she just can't seem to get a single rune with a positive meaning. If this invitation is truly for all followers of the Scarlet Revelation, then other Revelationists will certainly answer the call. I couldn't care less about all the twisted nonsense from your Red Tide cults, but I'm warning you, you can't stay around here for too long. I checked the surrounding area this afternoon. The punishing virus concentration around here is very high. I haven't located the source yet, but there are definitely corrupted nearby. It could be a widespread red tide. I can't rule that out. I almost forgot. That's what you all came here for in the first place. But if you're all planning to hold hands and dive straight into the red tide together, count me out. I've got my own business to attend to. I understand. Anyway, the ball's in your court. Lulu slips away from the camp. The first day at camp. It's dead quiet, except for a lone corrupted that creeps up to the camp. Luckily, Lulu takes care of it with a single shot. The rundown refugee camp has been abandoned for ages, but they still find some usable tent materials and food supplies that have been stored for who knows how long. Not exactly a gourmet meal, but edible enough. These supplies solve the followers' food situation for the day. After filling their stomachs, everyone's spirits seem to lift as they gather around the campfire in prayer. The second day at camp. Lulu scouts ahead alone, heading toward the aquarium. When she gets back, she tells Grace the punishing virus concentration is dangerously high there. Not immediately fatal, but certainly a mild infection. Oh, speaking of that, I just saw a bunch of people head into the aquarium. They were toting some mystical items, just like yours. What kind of items? It looked like a flag that's seen better days, pouched up countless times, with all sorts of stones dangling from the bottom. That's Nether, the glory banner. He's a revelationist too. He taught himself surgical knowledge, and after saving several refugees, he became a revelationist, urging them to keep living. And then? And then? That's it. I watched them walk in and I came back. You don't seriously expect me to follow them in there and scout ahead for you, do you? They come back out? At least when I went back to check tonight, there were no footprints coming out. Thanks for your hard work, Lulu. I appreciate the intel. You should know what a single piece of my intel used to fetch back in the day. Lulu rolls her eyes and leaves the tent. The third day at camp. The punishing virus concentration here is just too high. It's only been 3 days, but some people are already showing early signs of infection. Their skin is deteriorating, and they're having hallucinations. With no other choice, Grace moves their camp further back, but this decision meets with opposition from most of her followers. No, Lady Revelationist. We've already made it to the trial ground. If others get there first... I've never seen people so keen to rush to their own deaths. Well, yeah, Lulu, that's cultists for you. Particularly doomsday cultists. What if the divine realm of salvation has limited spaces? What if other people snap up those spots first and we're left out in the cold? That's right. Just yesterday I overheard that woman say Revelationist Nether has already ushered his followers into the trial ground. What? They've already beaten us to it. Lady Revelationist, please, take us to the trial ground. Take us to the trial ground. Silence, please. I feel your longing, everyone. But tell me, do you truly wish to cross into salvation burdened by sickness and suffering? The boisterous camp goes dead quiet for a beat. We'll withdraw the camp for now, but the moment divine whispers reveal the path, I will lead you all there, without delay. Her followers grumble, but they go along with it. The camp picks up and moves to a spot where where the punishing virus isn't so thick in the air. The 5th day at camp. You can't tell anyone about this, but last night, I heard the divine revelation. You heard it too? You bet I did. My devotion must have really hit home with the divine, because I heard the sound of the tide. I left the camp, followed that sound, and then I saw Lord Nether, the glory banner. Oh, hi, Ashrost. How are you? Are those tentacle emotes? I see. What? You know what Lord Nether looks like? Of course I do. The last time Lady Grace brought us to meet up with Lord Nether's group, he spoke to me for a moment. There's no way I'd ever forget what he looks like. House PGR, it is, bleak and depressing, as per usual. Right now, we're looking at the series of events that led Grace and her followers into the aquarium. Yeah, it is on brand of you to have sus emotes. What's the word this time? What did Lord Nether tell you? Lord Nether says they've passed the trial and been granted rebirth. He told me if we step into the aquarium, God will take us under his wing, mercifully embracing us all. There, the line between humans and construct will vanish, and no more stupid affinity reports. Everyone will gain immortality. No exceptions. Well, but didn't Lady Grace say it wasn't the right time yet? Who knows if she's just trying to keep all the good stuff to herself? I've already ironed things out with Smoker. Tomorrow night. The 7th day at camp. Smoker has vanished into thin air, taking the last 4 cans of food, 3 meat and 1 fruit. When did you last see Smoker? It was last night. I saw Smoker leading Marvin and the others, saying they were going to the aquarium. The follower mutters, yet his face betrays a profound yearning. Smoker and Marvin, they both heard the divine revelation. They claimed that by following the sound of the red tide, they saw Lord Nether, the glory banner, and a handful of other revelationists right there in the red tide by the sea. What else? He asked me to go with him. Said the divine revelation promised that if we entered the aquarium, passed its trial, and made it all the way to the bottom, we'd be granted eternal life. They said that in there's no difference between constructs and humans. No need to work or struggle. Everyone can be reborn as equals. Lady Grace, I'm thinking. When can we enter the aquarium and start the trial? Grace absent-mindedly shakes her linen pouch, and inside, rune pebbles of various materials clink against one another. Perhaps the invitation is genuine. Perhaps Nether truly has found his rebirth. But deep down, she knows exactly where those past revelations truly came from. Perhaps there truly is freedom within the red tide. Grace's resolve falters. Her next step is clear. She needs to tell Lulu that they've made their decision to enter the trial ground and achieve rebirth. Lulu would then leave this place, and after that... Instinctively, Grace flattens her pouch, reaches inside, and pulls out the first rune pebble her fingers touch. Well, it might not sound too horrible, but, you know. I'm pretty sure there's a downside to being dissolved. Personally, I would never want to do it. Then I'd become like one of the weird phantoms in the red tide, being like, come in, join us, it's great in here. All you have to do is shed your mortal form. I already do that for stream? Wait, do what? become a red Fanta? Oh, come into chat, it's great in here? Well, to be fair, I don't really invite people. They just kind of come. I mean, I post about it before I start, but most people just come in without me telling them. The stone is completely blank. Oh. Every single rune pebble in the pouch was placed there by Grace herself, and she's absolutely certain there was never a blank one among them. When did this one get mixed in? Was it when she spilled them in the tent and accidentally picked it up in the darkness? Or... I'd be a good red phantom because people just come in without me asking them? Maybe? The blank rune. A symbol of fate, portending death, but also the unknown, constant change and evolution, the courage to move forward. God, what should I do? Will we fail the trial? Is it all false? Will we lose everything we have? Is this truly the path we must take? She clutches the stone tightly, muttering to herself. The 8th day at camp. Oh? So this is the grand decision you've been agonizing over all night? That's right. I know this isn't fair to you, but... Yeah, I've been thinking about that too. She still has the crowbar. I need your help. I'll divide supplies and leave you the larger portion. I'm taking a group of followers into the aquarium. Please help by staying here a while longer to look after the wounded and children. I just can't wrap my head around what you're thinking. I'm sorry. Just consider this my last request, after I saved your life. I'm not sure we'll make it back. If we don't, please take the children and the injured to the nearest conservation area. After that, you are free as a bird. Fine, you win. You'd better come back in one piece. If those injured followers of yours are dead set on throwing themselves into the red tide, I won't be able to stop them. I'm counting on you. When are you off? Right now. Hey! Isn't this way too fast? I hope our trial... it'll all work out for the best. Grace waves the crowbar in her hand, gathering her followers around her. Oh, so she had the crowbar from the start. Who's Lulu? She's a construct who's helping them out. She's not one of the cultists, though. We're about to step onto the trial ground, where our trial begins. I have nothing left to rely on, nothing left to ask for, as long as I can find salvation. Oh God, I praise your holy name, prostrate at your feet. Yeah, Grace is like one of the leaders of the cult. God shall create paradise. God shall grant eternal life through the red tide. They form into a group, becoming the last team of Scarlet Revelation members to enter the aquarium, their trial ground. And that's it. That feels like kind of a weird place to end it. I mean, technically it's not the end, because that was more of a flashback. Yeah, the tropical fish. There are no tropical fish in the aquarium, it's a fake! Is the aquarium filled with the juice? Yeah, pretty much. Not at first, but it gets flooded with it eventually. It's also full of corrupted, which is not any better. Yeah, so that's the end of this chapter, Echoes Adrift. But since this is another integrated patch, there are still more other story chapters that have been added. Although, in this case, interestingly, the patch, so I mentioned before, they're integrated patches because we've been catching up with the Chinese server. And this is the last integrated patch. After this, we're going to be fully caught up. So on the Chinese server, the patch was Through the Tide Home. And here, the same patch, Through the Tide Home, also includes the Woven Prologue and Ideal Cage patches. But even on the Chinese server, Through the Tide Home came with 2 main story chapters that were released a few weeks apart. Echoes Adrift and then Dreams Rewound. I don't really know much about Dreams Rewound, but I have a guess as to what it's about. I think maybe... So, like, this chapter, Echoes Adrift, it was like kind of like a redo of the chapter Across the Ruined Sea. Except in the new timeline, so things went very differently. My guess is that Dreams Rewound is gonna be like kind of a speed run of a bunch of past chapters, but in the new timeline, showing how the new timeline has gone differently, and then kind of catching us up to where we would have left off in the old timeline. Because, like, that's kind of a weird thing. It's like, based on like where the old timeline left off, like, our characters are all like a few years younger than they would have been. Like, we've gone back in time a bit. So if Dreams Rewound kind of like speed runs the other chapters, then we would be getting kind of back on track. You don't trust this artwork because it looks too happy. I think we're overdue for some happiness. But yeah, so I'm not gonna start Dreams Rewound today. I'm gonna start that a different day. So this is gonna be the end of my stream for tonight. I know it's a shorter one, but I just wanted to finish Echoes Adrift, and now I've done that. Yay! So then we'll do Dreams Rewound, and then we've got the side stories, Woven Prologue, and Ideal Cage when it's available. Alright. Good timing then? Good. I'm gonna find somebody to raid. Oop. Ah! Wait. I'm pressing the wrong buttons. Crap. Crap! Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna do. We are going to raid my friend Kiro. Good night, Neil. Yeah, we're gonna raid Kiro. Kiro has been taking a break from streaming for a while lately, but he just came back. I will say now he is playing Silent Hill F, which is a Silent Hill game. So it is scary spoopy. And that scares me. So I've been paying attention to Kiro's playthrough of this game a bit, mostly because I know the writer for this new game is Ryukishi07, who wrote Umineko When They Cry, which is like one of my favorite visual novels. And I know Kiro really likes that series too. And so I've been paying attention to it a little bit because of that. Because I'm like, ooh, it's this guy. But it's still a Silent Hill game. So it scares me. I can't really watch it that much. But I do want to support my friend. So we're gonna go and we're gonna say hi. And also, I realized, I haven't like fully come up with a raid message yet. But I do know that now I have my own emotes. So we could all do some emotes together as like a raid message. Maybe we could do some of the heart emotes together, like this. We could say hi, Kiro. So I guess this will be our raid message. Hi, Kiro, and then some of the Luke heart emotes. Okay. Yeah, that'll be it. So I'll see you all another time. I don't know when I will stream next. I know I have another voice acting class Tuesday night, so definitely not then. But we'll see. I'll definitely stream sometime in this coming week because I want to do more story chapters in PGR. Anyway, thank you all for coming to this shorter story reading stream, and I hope you all have a great rest of your night. I hope you all have a good week coming up, and I'll see you some other time. Bye bye. Good night.